Hello, my name is Jim Newell. I'm Deputy Leader of the Rejoin EU Party. And today I wanted to talk to you about reversing Brexit and what we can learn from history about this. Because sometimes the idea of reversing Brexit can seem like an insurmountable challenge. For example, in May, the various polling organisations revealed that while there was a majority of people who thought it was wrong to leave the European Union, only about 7%, at least according to Mori's Issues Index, mentioned Brexit as one of the most important problems that Britain was facing today. However, if we look at history, then I think history shows that monumental shifts in policy can be reversed. And if we look to the example of the United States reversal of prohibition in 1933, then we can find valuable lessons, I think, which suggest that reversing Brexit may be more achievable than people think. So what was prohibition? Well, prohibition was the nationwide ban on the production, sale and transportation of alcoholic beverages in the United States from 1920 to 1933. And I think it serves as an intriguing case study because while it was, when it was first enacted with the passage of the 18th Amendment in 1919, many people believed that it would be nearly impossible to abolish, but by 1933 it was gone. So why did people think it was impossible to abolish? Well, for one thing, it was driven by the temperance movement, which had strong support from religious and moral organizations. And this meant that there was a widespread and deeply held belief that prohibiting the sale and consumption of alcohol would lead to a more virtuous society, a bit like the belief that Brexit will improve UK society. That made it very, very challenging to question the idea of prohibition. For another thing, the belief that alcohol consumption led to social problems such as crime, domestic violence and poverty. Again, this made it very, very difficult for critics to argue against prohibition without being seen as disregarding public well-being. So very, very difficult to argue against prohibition at first. Thirdly, prohibition had significant political support from powerful interest groups such as the Anti-Saloon League and the Christian Temperance Union. And these organizations had considerable lobbying power and were able to sway public opinion and influence lawmakers. And so their political clout, a bit like the gun lobby, made it difficult to question or to challenge prohibition laws. However, the policy, which was initially seen as a great moral victory, soon faced widespread opposition and unintended consequences. These included the rise of organized crime surrounding the illicit sale and transportation of alcohol, violence and corruption that went with it, the significant losses of tax revenues, which exacerbated the government's difficulties in dealing with the Great Depression. There was widespread non-compliance with prohibition. And so eventually the growing realization among politicians that prohibition was untenable. To me, this sort of sounds eerily familiar when I think about how Brexit is currently going in the UK and all of the difficulties that it's causing. So it seems to me that Brexit, or rather the story of prohibition, I should say, provides valuable insights into how seemingly irreversible policies can in fact be reversed. Now, the key factor, it seems to me, in reversing any policy is the shifting tide of public opinion. Prohibition faced mounting public disillusionment as people witnessed its unintended consequences, the organised crime, the violence, the corruption that went with it that I mentioned, the loss of tax revenues and so on. And similarly, the impact of Brexit, from the economic concerns that it's raised to the complexities that it's created for our daily lives, the complexities of disentangling from the EU, has led a growing segment of the population to reconsider their support for leaving. So I think that as public opinion evolves, therefore, the prospect of reversing Brexit may become more feasible. So while it's true that Brexit seems to matter less for voters than it once did, what we also know is that the majority of voters still identify as either leavers or remainers. And as Sarah Hobolt and James Tilley point out in a recent article for the UK in a Changing Europe think tank, this suggests that Brexit could become a salient dividing line in day-to-day British politics again, especially if events and political competition bring UK relations back onto the front pages, as seems almost certain to happen in the autumn, when the United Kingdom starts imposing various controls on imports from the EU that it's hitherto decided not to do. One crucial aspect of reversing policies, so a second crucial aspect, is acknowledging and learning from mistakes made. And Prohibition's failure to achieve its intended goals was a significant factor in its reversal. Similarly, the challenges and complexities that have emerged thanks to the Brexit process, I think, have highlighted the shortcomings of leaving the EU. And by reflecting on these mistakes and understanding their consequences, I think we can pave the way for an informed decision to reverse Brexit. Thirdly, to reverse a significant policy shift, proponents need to present a compelling alternative vision, I think. Prohibition's downfall was in part due to the emergence of a compelling alternative narrative that emphasized responsible consumption, regulation, and taxation. So in the context of Brexit, I think those arguing for a reversal need to articulate a compelling vision that addresses the concerns raised by Leave supporters, while also emphasizing the benefits of maintaining a close relationship with the EU. So I think this alternative vision can help bridge the divide and rally support for a reconsideration of Brexit. Fourthly, I think leadership and political will are crucial in affecting policy reversals. In the case of Prohibition, it was a combination of strong leadership and the recognition of the policy's flaws that led to its repeal. Similarly, I think reversing Brexit will require visionary leaders who can navigate the complex political landscape, engage in constructive dialogue, and make a compelling case for reconsideration. By fostering a sense of unity and understanding, I think political leaders can facilitate the reversal of Brexit. This may seem rather unlikely at the present moment, given the three main parties' positions on Brexit. Two of the main parties definitely opposed to rejoining the EU. The Liberal Democrats are sitting on the fence on the issue, but still there are well-known leaders out there, people like Gina Miller, Anna Soubry, and many others, who I think, if they're able to come on board with a concerted campaign to reverse Brexit, could make a very significant difference. So in short, I think that while reversing Brexit may sometimes seem like an immense challenge, history offers some valuable insights and hope. The example of prohibition in the United States demonstrates that seemingly entrenched policies can be reversed through shifting public opinion, by learning from mistakes, drafting compelling alternatives, and above all, through strong leadership. So I think as the realities of Brexit become clearer and its consequences more apparent, the possibility of reversing the Brexit process actually grows with the passage of time. So by applying the lessons learned from history, we can approach the task of reversing Brexit with renewed optimism and determination. Thanks very much for your kind attention. That's all for today. And I hope to be back with you with another anti-Brexit video in the not too distant future. Thanks very much. Goodbye.